once again for the renegade master. Back 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 once again for the renegade master.
Hello, my renegades, and we are back. And I've done it. I'm proud of myself. I've done it. And get into episode 8 before we get into the rest of the ultimatum today. So we are at the ultimatum queer love episode 8, and we are gonna go straight into it. So we all know the couples are back together, and now they're trying to manage their relationships and interact with each other. And we know that there's been changes because they spent 3 weeks with other parts of the other couples, and now they come back to their original set. So we see that Ossie and Sam go out for drinks with one of Sam's friends, and it literally just blows apart, like proper blows apart, because Ossie is not coping with the idea that Sam has changed to what they know, and to how they are comfortable with how Sam usually behaves. So Sam has completely changed, and Ossie is flipping their lid, like completely flipping their lid on this change in Sam. I myself was like, how in the hell do you act that way in front of someone's friend? Like, she literally had an argument, basically said that Sam's feelings were bullshit, and then when they were called out on it by Sam's friend, also just went off the rails, like completely went off the rails, buggered off outside, sat on the curb. Or Sam's friend decided that they will go outside and go and speak to Ossie, sat down and listened to Ossie, and this is when I said, and I'll quote, Ossie needs therapy. Sam cannot fix in terms of being the go-between and the step back, allowing Ossie to have her feelings and then to come back and talk about a situation, because Ossie's going to continue to shut off due to the trauma from her childhood and through her adulthood, and also coming to terms with the changes that she's having in regards to their own identity. So Ossie has literally broken down on the sidewalk, crying in Sam's friend's arms, dribbling all over the place. And you know that Ossie is feeling these emotions. Like, Ossie went back to childhood, and it was basically, well, what about me? What about how I felt? I've done this. And it literally did become an I thing with Ossie, but I don't think it was intentional. Ossie was definitely literally triggered by the changes in Sam, and this is how it's manifested itself. And this is why I'm saying Ossie has no business wanting to get married to anybody right now. Ossie has no business actually being in a long-term relationship right now. Ossie needs to work on Ossie, like really well and truly needs to work on Ossie. But then, in true Ossie style, the fucked up shit that she did, went and left Sam, jumped in the car, don't go back in to try and speak to Sam or level the playing field or validate Sam's feelings, or at least apologize for the huge blowout that they just had. Literally gets up off the sidewalk and leaves. And then you got poor Sam literally running after Ossie, thinking Ossie is still outside. No, Sam walks outside, Ossie gone. Ossie gone and leave her. And I'm just like, Ossie, do you not think in that moment, rather than being so self-centered and how you feel and how you needed to get away, that you needed to go back in like the adult that you are and speak to Sam rather than just walk off? Or you could have just went in and said, look, I'm sorry, I'm feeling a bit emotional, I need some time, So I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave. Not a bean. Not a, and this is exactly what Mildred was talking about and what Tiff was talking about. How can you navigate through a relationship if you cannot communicate? And your first bit of you thinking that it's conflict, you shut down and run away. Relationships don't work like that. Marriages definitely don't work like that. You have to at least be on a level with your partner to be able to communicate effectively. If you cannot do that, you have no business being in a relationship whatsoever. And as I said already, and as I'll keep saying, Aussie needs to do some groundwork on themselves. Like, seriously needs to do some groundwork on themselves. And I think Sam needs to understand that there's only so much that she can do with Aussie and validate Aussie's feelings before she says, you know what, I've had enough. And take a step back and say to Aussie, no, you need to work on yourself. If we get back together after you've worked on yourself, then all be it well and good. But Sam cannot keep being Aussie's saviour in this. It moves to Lexi and Ray, and as I said before, in the last episode, they're on the beach, they're chatting with each other. I have to say that they're both annoying me. They're both annoying me a little bit. But as I said, with Ray, I do believe that she has issues in terms of her own self-esteem and self-confidence. Because as she said to Lexi, she is struggling to catch up with Lexi, and in terms of what Lexi wants, she feels that she's falling short. And to be fair, I think if how they're interacting right now, as I said, Lexi's quite a powerhouse in regards to when they talk, what she wants Ray to do. Lexi is quite powerful in that way, whereas Ray shrinks back into the background. And I think there's going to come a time where Lexi's going to have to learn to do a little bit of give and take and actually listen to what her partner is saying and actually read the cues of her partner, because non-verbally they're just not connecting with each other. And I think it's got made worse due to Ray's little dalliance with Vanessa and the fact that, you know, she decided to move in with Vanessa and not heed Lexi's warnings. So it goes back to Sam and Aussie, and as again, Sam drops into that role of making things okay for Aussie. That's what Sam does. She drops in that role to making things okay for Aussie, giving Aussie cuddles, giving Aussie pep talks and kisses on the head and stuff like that. But then, as they're talking, Aussie has the full audacity to turn around and tell Sam that Sam is not her safe space. She doesn't feel safe with Sam. And I thought, are you taking the piss right now? Like, for real, are you taking the piss right now? You had a complete meltdown, okay, emotional meltdown. You walked off and left Sam looking for your ass. Then you come back, Sam is trying to validate you and be there for you. And then you have the audacity to tell Sam that she is not your safe space. You don't feel safe with her right now. Yeah, you're taking the motherfucking piss. No apology in how you made Sam feel. No apology in the fact that you literally walked off and left Sam behind. None at all. It's like Aussie really don't give a shit. Aussie does not give a shit about anybody else but Aussie. Yeah, nah. You see, if that was me, would have been done. Would have been done. Aussie's a totally selfish person. And then as Sam talks to Aussie about how she's feeling in regards to what Aussie said about Sam not being a safe space, you see Aussie switch off, completely switches off again. And I thought, oh God, here we go again. I swear down, Aussie don't give a shit, as I said, unless it's to do with Aussie and how it impacts Aussie. Aussie is dismissive, Aussie is disrespectful. And as I said, I couldn't put up with that bullshit. I could not put up with that bullshit. It'll be a case of literally go and fix your issues or do something, because this right here ain't working. Ain't working in the slightest. And then that's when Sam loses her rag a bit and literally calls Aussie an arsehole. And as again, Aussie's a motherfucking track star. They decide to pack their bags, put on her trainers, and then walks out and leaves Sam. Again, invalidating Sam's feelings and literally pissing away Sam's emotions, to be fair. Sam doesn't follow her. And I'm like, good on you, Sam. Don't follow Aussie, because at the end of the day, Aussie needs to work out her bullshit. Like, proper needs to work out her bullshit. Do they want you or do they don't want you? That's what it boils down to. Is Aussie going to literally have a light bulb moment and actually recognise and take responsibility for the behaviours that they're imposing on someone else? My answer would be, I don't think so. I really don't think so. But you can tell me what you think. Like, literally tell me what you think in regards to everything that's gone on thus far. So we go to Xander and Vanessa, and they've gone now to meet Vanessa's dad. Xander knows Vanessa's dad. I mean, they've been together for 4 years. And basically, Vanessa's explaining where things are, and that Vanessa's saying that she now wants to be married and have children, and that she loves Xander and wants the future. Basically, Vanessa's trying to say that she learned a lot through this trial marriage. No, you didn't, love. No, you didn't, love. What you learned is that Xander is appealing to somebody else. That's what you learned. Because when you first came in, you were all about the hey. Yeah, you were. And now you've realised that you are at the crux of potentially losing Xander. It's like, yeah, nah, that ain't happening. And as I've already said in the last episode, and I'll saying this one as well, it's a game to Vanessa. She is playing to win against Yoli. At the end of the day, she don't want to lose, especially on Big Bar TV. She don't want to lose. So she will fight to the nth to keep Xander. And I will say that the dad, Vanessa's dad, actually pulled out a gem. That Vanessa's acting in a manner, as I said, where she doesn't want to lose Xander, because Xander's been there all that time. She doesn't want to lose her. It's not the fact that she really wants to get married. She just does not want to lose her. And that's the only time I see Vanessa say, well, you know, she didn't agree with her dad, because she's trying to say that, you know, she's made a lot of growth and that she's ready for marriage. And her dad is basically saying that, I don't think you are, to be fair. She didn't like that. Vanessa did not like that one iota, because it then gives a little opening for Xander to kind of think, well, is what her dad saying correct in regards to Vanessa's motives about wanting to get married now? It's the fact that she just don't want to lose. She don't want to lose the person that she's been with for 4 years to somebody else. It's not that she wants to get married. I'm telling you, that woman don't want to get married. That woman don't want to get married, and she don't want to have no kids with Xander, because in the 4 years that they were together, if she wanted to do that, she would have done that with the amount of times that Xander was asking her to bloody marry her. But she didn't. The key time she waited to drop the marriage bomb that she wanted to get married and was on Xander's page was when she watched Xander and Yoli have that non-verbal communication with their eyes. I told you she clocked it. And that's when she brought out that bloody note and read it out. I don't even think she even wrote down there that she saw the changes and wanted to get married. I think she was winging it, to be fair on that bit. I didn't see no writing on that note. Nobody else saw the note but Vanessa. Anyway, you like let me know what you think. But as I said, I've already told you my views on Vanessa and a little bit on Xander and everybody else. But then it goes to Mal and Yoli, and they're meeting Yoli's friend. Now remember, in a couple episodes back, remember I said the friend went to bat for Yoli, called Yoli her homegirl. Now she feels stupid. Now she feels utterly stupid because Yoli's there telling this girl about how she's fallen in love with somebody else and she could see a life with that person besides Mal. So they were literally trying to break out how can you do that in 3 weeks? How can you go from a 3-year relationship to literally busting that down to go be with someone in 3 weeks? And you know what came back with? I ain't saying she's a gold digger, but Yoli saw them financials of Xander's. Yoli saw them financials of Xander's. Said that the insurance would be covered, and if she wanted to do other things would be covered. But she hadn't seen the financials of Mal. And Mal was like, ding! Oh, so that's what it is. So that's what it is. But then Yoli tried to claw it back and save face and say, no, it wasn't just about that. It wasn't just about the financials. And she said to Mal, I'm not judging you by what's in your bank account, but then proceeds to judge Mal by what's in her bank account because she doesn't know what's in Mal's bank account, but she knows what's in Xander's bank account. That should say a lot. That should fully say a lot to Mal. Like, really, that should fully say the full-on motives of who your girl is, to be fair. Because the friend was, like, shocked to hell and back. Like, wow. And then after that, because Yoli weren't getting her own way, she had the full-on audacity to walk away. And then Mal asked her friend, like, what does she think? Do you think I should continue or get married? And her friend paused for a long time. And I'm like, Mal, man, if you can't see it, then there's no helping you at this stage. You're just going to have to go through what you're going to have to go through. Do you know what I mean? Because Yoli's showing you who she is. Like, full on showing you who she is. Bearing in mind, Yoli was the one that gave you the bloody ultimatum. Yoli was the one that gave you the ultimatum. And now she's fucking everything up for Xander. But Xander's not playing that game. Xander's literally all in on Vanessa at the moment. Now, I was kind of thinking yesterday, it popped into my head yesterday, is it that when Xander asked Yoli and said, let's do it, and they both agreed to do it, is it then that they both came to a silent agreement that Yoli will carry on in what she's doing with Mal, Xander will carry on in what she's doing with Vanessa, but is Xander kind of sweetening up Vanessa then to be able to drop her from a great height when it comes to the actual ultimatums? I don't know, but it was kind of playing on my head. Is Xander just sweetening up Vanessa so she doesn't get the pushback and the full brunt of Vanessa's ire, just to then drop her at the end? It did make me think. But let me know what you lot think. So it talked about Ossie and, speaking to Sam about parents and being embarrassed, as I already mentioned, in taking Sam because they're not very accepting at all. And my thing is if someone is not accepting of who you are, the essence of who you are, and won't accept the essence of who you are, you have no business taking anybody else into that rubbish, basically. into that toxicity. You have no business taking anybody else, and especially as someone as sweet as Sam, to be opened up to the issues of Ussie's family. No business at all. So it's good that Sam turned around and said, well, no, because she doesn't want anyone in her life that cannot accept the true self that is her, and she's not able to show and be authentic in her own self. And I agree with Sam. It's hard. Yes, I understand going like no contact with your parents, and it will be very hard for Ussie because of the dynamic that is Ussie's family. But you then can't expect to bring Sam into that dynamic, because that's not fair on Sam. And as again, I'm glad Ussie talked about their feelings at that point, but also needs to understand where Sam is coming from, because I am not prepared to go to someone's parents' home and you're embarrassed to take me there. I ain't stepping foot in that house, and I ain't going to be talking to them, pure and simple. I think Vanessa is definitely trying too hard. Vanessa definitely pulls at the strings of Xander. But as again, with my little thought, I don't know if Xander is playing into the little intricacies of Vanessa in order to not get the slap back. Because don't forget, she got to live with her for these 3 weeks up until the ultimatum. And after the ultimatum, if they're not going home together, she don't have to see Vanessa again, to be fair. But as again, we shall see. I don't think there's anything more that Mal can do in regards to Yoli, because Yoli's made her feelings perfectly clear. And I think Mal's going to have to make a decision as to what it is that she's going to do. And I think all of them have to make that ultimate decision. And also, if you are going to be asking your partners to get married to you, you need to prepare for a no. Like, I don't think they prepare themselves for a no because they're thinking everything's going to work out. You need to actually prepare yourself for a bloody no. And especially Mal. Mal needs to prepare herself for a no from Yoli, because I really don't see how Yoli is going to say yes to her, bearing in mind she's already wanting Xander, and she's already agreed to make this work with Xander from the cocktail party. So how do you go back from that? How do you go back from that when she's already fucking up her relationship for someone that she don't know will be sure of her? So how do you go back from that? Right, so it comes to the ultimatum day, and we see Mal and Yoli are first to go in and speak to each other. There's not even no hug or kiss when they first see each other. Yoli's very standoffish and sits a bit away from Mal. And Mal says, oh, well, don't you want to sit closer? And she was like, oh, no, I'm fine here, but I can sit closer if you want. And she's like, and Mal was like, no, it's good. So then they go through the talking, and just as it ends, Mal basically gets down on one knee and asks Yoli to marry her. And then it completely ends there. So this is where I said I would do my predictions. Right. In terms of Mal and Yoli, I think Yoli's going to say no to Mal. That's my thought. Yoli's going to say no to Mal. She's going to approach Xander. And I also think she's going to get a no from Xander too. So Yoli's going to be left out in the cold. That's my prediction. I think with Xander and Vanessa, I think Xander's going to ask Vanessa to marry her. I think to save face, Vanessa will say yes. But after this program, I don't think it's going to work out for them. And I think Vanessa will probably end things with Xander at that point. She just don't want to do it on TV, because I'm telling you that woman does not want to get married. with Aussie and Sam, I think it's going to be a no there, because I think Sam is literally getting to know Aussie a little bit better in regards to the experiment itself. And Aussie's behaviours, as I said, are extreme, and they need support with that. And Sam is not equipped to deal with that long term. As I said, them two will find themselves in a divorce court if they decide to get married right now. So I don't think Sam is going to go back with Aussie. In terms of Tiff and Mildred, I don't know. I really don't know with them two. I really don't know, because they've still got their issues. And I don't really think Tiff is ready at all for marriage. Like Tiff has been saying from the beginning, does she want to get down on one knee and get married? No, they don't. So with that one, I'm probably going to say that one isn't going to work out either. I'm probably going to say that they're not going to get married. I think Mildred will ask Tiff, because, you know, Mildred was the ultimatum giver. And Tiff will probably say no, she's not there. She's nowhere near there at the moment. And with Lexi and Ray, I don't think that's going to work either. I don't think that's going to work. I don't know if Lexi is going to be asking Ray to marry her anymore. Lexi likes the idea of marriage and wants to be with Ray, but I don't think she will get to the point of asking her anymore. So out of all of them, the only people who I think will probably walk away with each other is Xander and Vanessa. But as again, let me know what you think in the comments in regards to your predictions, because I would like to see them. I would like to hear them if you do have any predictions. And then I'll be back again for the last episodes, where, as you know, all the others start giving their ultimatum and we get the answers in regards to Yoli and Mal. So my renegades, I shall be signing off here, and I will speak to you very soon. As again, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification so you know when I'm on and doing another video, and also comment. Thank you. Peace out.